start today's current affairs. Government launches e-Sahaj portal. Government launches e-Sahaj SAHAJ portal to facilitate security clearances to business. The Ministry of Home Affairs have launched this e-Sahaj portal to facilitate individuals and companies to get security clearance for setting up of businesses in sensitive areas, in sensitive sectors. If anybody wanted to establish a new business in the sensitive sector, to facilitate the individuals and companies, a new portal was launched called e-Sahaj, SAHAJ, e-Sahaj portal. The portal aims to bring great transparency. The portal aims to bring greater transparency and security clearances to business portals relating to sensitive sectors and geographical locations. Sensitive sectors and geographical locations. Sensitive sectors like defense production, all those things. Germany launches world's first hydrogen powered train. Germany launches world's first hydrogen powered train. Hydrogen powered train is eco-friendly. Though it's costly, it is environmental friendly. The trains were built not by Germany but by France. And diesel trains which we have in run now, they are not environmental friendly. But the hydrogen trains are environmental friendly. And they are equipped with fuel cells. They are equipped with fuel cells that produce electricity through hydrogen and oxygen and leaves only steam and water. So they are environmental friendly. Only water and steam will be emitted. So it is completely eco-friendly, though costly. World's first hydrogen train was launched in Germany. Excess energy stored in ion lithium batteries. Excess energy in the train will be stored in the ion lithium batteries inside the train. And the train was built by French maker Alstom, ALSTOM. The train was made by French train maker Alstom. Okay. Star mark question for this year mains and prelims, next year, for all of you. September 16th, World Ozone Day. September 16th, World Ozone Day. Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, on the eve of World Ozone Day recently, released a draft of Indian Cooling Action Plan, ICAP. ICAP. This ICAP you have to study in detail. All of you who are writing 2019 prelims and mains. Indian Cooling Action Plan. It makes India first country in the world to develop such plan. It makes India first country in the world to have such a document for Indian Cooling Action Plan. This ICAP, Indian Cooling Action Plan, aims to provide sustainable cooling while keeping in mind at the same time the need of protecting the ozone layer. Ozone layer is in the stratosphere. You all know you have ultraviolet rays come from ozone layer from the sun and ozone layer depletion concept. So Indian Cooling Action Plan, India Cooling Action Plan is to protect the ozone layer. It provides a 20 years perspective. It provides a 20 years perspective with projection cooling needs for up to 2037-2038. So within 20 years, India is going to completely implement this action plan. It's a perspective for 20 years. By 2037-38, we are going to reach the target. So you have to completely read the document, at least the synopsis of India Cooling Action Plan. You can write in the environment essay, directly a question might come or directly mains question might come, what is ICAP? To protect the ozone. To protect the ozone. India is the first country to do so in the world, to release such a document in the world. India is the first country to do so and to release such a document in the world. India-Bangladesh Friendship Pipeline Project inaugurated through video conferencing. India-Bangladesh Friendship Pipeline Project was inaugurated through video conferencing. Prime Minister Modi and Bangladesh President Sheikh Hasina have inaugurated Friendship Pipeline. It was between Siliguri in West Bengal and Parbatipur in Bangladesh. Siliguri in West Bengal and Parbatipur in Bangladesh, and Dinajpur district in Bangladesh. Parbatipur is in Dinajpur, Dinajpur, and this pipeline is very important for oil transfer, oil transport. The pipeline, friendship pipeline between India and Bangladesh, Siliguri in West Bengal, Parbatpur in Dinajpur district in Bangladesh. It's very important again in Indo-Bangladesh relations. And next important thing you have Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. Where are the headquarters of FAO located? Where are the headquarters of FAO located? Rome, Italy. Okay. FAO launched agricultural project. FAO launched agricultural project in 5 states with the help of $30.5 million grant from GEF. $33.5 million help from GEF. So you get a question, what is GEF? Global Environmental Facility. GEF, Global Environmental Facility. GEF was launched after Rio Summit, Earth Summit in 1992. GEF was launched, Global Environmental Facility was launched after Earth Summit, also called as Rio Summit in 1992, to help the planet Earth to solve the pressing environmental problems. To solve the pressing environmental problems, to help the planet Earth. GEF has provided $17.9 billion as grants for various environmental programs. GEF has partnership with 183 countries in environmental protection. GEF has partnership with 183 environmental countries for environmental protection. So such a great job GEF is doing. We made a question on GEF. So now Food and Agriculture Organization is helping Indian agriculture with the help of GEF with $33.5 million grant. 5 states, conservation of biodiversity and landscapes through this. In 5 states, they are going to conserve the biodiversity and landscape. Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram, Orissa, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand. Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram, Orissa, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand. Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram, Odisha, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand. So you should know what is FAO, what is GEF, the things. And next, coming to today's newspaper. US, China. US and China now on tit for tat trade war. Tit for tat trade war. That trade rivalry, that trade war between US and China escalated, increased to an unprecedented height. It was increased so much, the trade rivalry between US and China. And US has announced 10% tariffs on 200 billion imports from China. 10% tariffs on the worth of $200 billion imports from China. And China have also increased up to 5% to 10% tariffs on $60 billion worth American goods. American soya beans, American food particles, all will become costly in China now. In the same way, Chinese goods will become costly in America now. But America intelligently have not increased tariffs on China's rare earth metals. Rare earth metals are very important in American electronics automobile industry from China. So America have not increased the tariffs on rare earth metals. China is the top producer of rare earth metals in the world. China is the top producer of rare earth metals in the world. And now many American items in China have become costly. Aircraft, soya bean, beef, coffee, flour, all these things become very costly now. Let us see how things will go in future about trade wars. But this year trade wars are very important. Coming to remaining articles today. Banking on mergers. Banking on mergers. Yesterday we came to know that Vijaya Bank, Dena Bank, Bank of Baroda. Yesterday we have seen that Vijaya Bank, Dena Bank, Bank of Baroda got government announced a merger. Dena Bank is the worst sufferer of NPS. So when this merger was announced, Vijaya Bank, Bank of Baroda shares have come down, the cost of their shares, whereas Dena Bank shares was increased because share rate was increased. The reason is Dena Bank is suffering severe losses with NPS. If there is a merger of it, automatically its fortune will become better. For that reason Dena Bank have become now good. But to solve the problems of NPS, bank merger is not the only solution. Bank merger is not the only solution. Now we have to build a trust. Dena Bank, Vijaya Bank and Bank of Baroda, third largest lender. Now it's going to become third largest lender. Bad loan crisis should be solved through various mechanisms. It's not just through mergers. Next article is about 10 years on in uncharted waters. 10 years on in uncharted waters. For this you need to have very good explanation. Listen. There is a word called subprime lending crisis. Subprime lending crisis. What does it mean? When bank lends loan to the customers who does not have proper credit worthiness, it's called subprime lenders. బ్యాంకులు ఎవరికైతే సరిగ్గా క్రెడిట్ హిస్టరీ లేదో, ఎవరైతే తిరిగి చెల్లించే కెపాసిటీ సరిగ్గా లేదో వాళ్ళకు రుణాలు ఎక్కువ ఇస్తే వాళ్ళని సబ్ప్రైమ్ లెండర్స్ అంటారు. ఓకే, ఇన్ ద ఇయర్ 2007-2008 the world have seen subprime lending crisis. The subprime lending crisis have affected American economy. At that time many markets in the world are dependent on American economy. The vagaries of the American economy have made many other markets worse. The subprime lending crisis in America affected other markets also. The bubble of internet, the bubble of software bursted at that time and property prices have suddenly fallen. People were unable to pay back loans to the banks and banks went bankrupt. Indian economy, which was aiming at double-digit growth rate at that time, everybody thought within a year India is going to reach double digit. But with this crisis, India also faced the repercussions and India's growth rate was restricted to 7. It was restricted to 7%. But one thing, the whole world got affected by subprime lending. India is also affected, but not like other countries. And how we have come out of this crisis? We have come out to an extent, but why should we get affected when American economy have come down? Because most of the currencies, most of the countries are related with dollar and American economic policies. In the globalized world, if one country gets a crisis, it will affect the other countries also. And American Federal Reserve policies, American government policies, American banking frauds American volatilities also affect. And the other says, in the subprime lending crisis, there is a default of bankers also, but no big banker got arrested. Why you have given loans to subprime customers? First thing. Second thing, why we have integrated our economies to that extent? India to an extent acted prudently at that time. India have not allowed full current capital account convertibility. At that time we don't have capital account convertibility, and we were very, very strong in our fundamentals of economy, so we got protected. But subprime lending crisis is a big crisis that has happened 10 years back. And now is the time is over for this crisis? Nobody can tell. This is the core and gist of the article. Celestial misfit. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. These are all planets which we have by hearted in our childhood. Okay. 2 years back, International Astronomical Union said Pluto is not a planet. It is a dwarf planet. Pluto is just a dwarf planet. But many people are objecting this. To get a status of planet, you have 3 conditions to get fulfilled. To get a status of planet, you should have 3 conditions. It should orbit the sun. It should have enough spherical shape. It should have enough to acquire an approximately spherical shape. And it should have gravity. But Pluto is revolving because of Neptune's gravity. Pluto does not have its own clear gravity. This was the claim. So, unless it has its own clear gravity, you cannot call it as a planet. So, there was still a controversy whether Pluto is a planet or not. Though International Astronomical Union 2006 told Pluto was a dwarf planet, still many are saying Pluto is also a planet. In this article, they have spoken about Charon, Charon, Pluto's moon. You may get a prelims question. Titan is a moon of Saturn. Charon is the moon of Pluto. Similar question you can get. Just remember, in this article you have a word called Charon, Charon, the moon of Pluto. And the article hashtags, pointless hashtags, just nothing much. You can read about Naxalism, Me Too campaign, various things, urban Naxal, marginalized groups, all those things. There is an interview with Dr. Pratap Reddy. Who is Pratap Reddy? Apollo chief. He spoke about non-communicable diseases like heart attacks, cancers, all those things. So these are the important current affairs. We will meet day after.